Welcome to Perth's #1 podcast. You're listening to the Jamo and Dylan Show.
Yeah, we're on the way to Dunsborough. Little mad trip with the boys. We're celebrating.
G'day guys and welcome back to the Jamo and Dylan Show. I'm not sure what episode number it is because we don't know.
I'm not sure what one this will be.
We don't know when we'll bring it out.
In the 170s.
Indeed. But today we have a very special guest all the way from the UK. I would love to say you came over just for this, but that's not the case.
Basically the same.
Welcome to the show, Lloyd Wakefield.
Thank you, boys, for having me.
Talented man.
Thank you,
Jack
boys.
of all trades, aren't you?
I try to be, I try.
So let us know and let the viewers know and listeners know what you do.
So I'm a photographer, director, here on tour with Harry Styles at the minute. So here for a few days, touring Australia, a little bit of Asia, before sort of the rest of the world pretty much. Yeah, just sort of photographing as we go.
How did you get into photography and I guess videography initially, and then take us through, I guess, in the career aspect,
Yeah.
who you were with and how you came to be here?
Yeah, so I started like 2017. I was working retail, dead end job.
Yep.
How old were you then in 2017?
21.
Okay, so you're 21, working
well,
retail.
I'm 26 now, so whatever that makes.
So it's been a quick ride,
Yeah,
like in a
kind of,
way,
yeah.
like it's kind of taken off.
When I talk to other photographers and they're like, "Oh, I've been doing it for like 10 years," I'm like, shit, like kind of fast tracked it a little bit. I kind of feel a bit guilty, but yeah, I was sort of working retail, hated it, like fucking hated it.
Where were you working?
ALDI.
Okay, yeah, we have that.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
We do, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
sick. Yeah. So I was working at ALDI.
On the
sat
checkouts?
tills,
Yeah.
Throwing shit through. Like,
It's a
hating
noisy
life.
place, Aldi.
Yeah.
There's lots of beeping and like...
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
It's intense.
The
So,
employees can sit down as well. As
Yeah, they can
scan
sit there.
things.
It's a new thing.
oh, what?
Yeah.
You stand up here is the norm thing.
Oh,
At Coles and like we have our own shops. I used to be a checkout chick as well.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you got to stand and pack the bags as well for the customers. And then Aldi came in and it's just fucking get them in and out.
Yeah. It's very sort of like time sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're sort of. I remember we had like it's like 1,000 products an hour or something you've got to do.
wow.
Oh,
So
scan
it's
through.
like so you're like
KPIs.
scanning shit through and like the fruit and like the stuff that isn't in a bag.
Yeah.
You're like you've got to remember the code for it. So like bananas are like 98, so you got to tap 98 and then throw it through. It's like a sport.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, so I was working then. My friend bought a camera. I was not into cameras at all, or like photography or
So
anything.
at 21, you weren't into cameras or photography.
No.
This is insane.
It is.
I thought it was going to be like a lifelong
No,
love for the... This is great.
You're like taking
I know.
photos of flowers when you're 10 years old.
Yeah,
and stuff.
no, none of that. I actually did a football scholarship, like soccer, football.
Yeah.
Like through like like college. A team called Preston. Don't know if you've heard of them. Preston North End.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then got
They're
like
on
18.
FIFA.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Sort of fell out of love with it a little bit, playing it too much.
Yeah.
Sort of didn't know what to do. Kind of like got a retail job. And then my friend got a camera. I started taking photos with him, just keeping myself busy sort of thing. And then
Just in your spare time, just going
just like
around.
after work,
Yeah.
days off, like walking around doing street photography, that sort of thing. Like pretty shit stuff. And I look back, like I'm like, wow, that was a brutal start. But yeah, and then it sort of, I would do like, I hated working retail, so I was like, okay, let me try and just do anything. So I was like emailing coffee shops, like free videos, anything to sort of try and kickstart, get the ball rolling sort of thing. We did a free video for a coffee shop, again, awful. And and then it sort of just snowballed from there. And then I sort of started doing more photos over video, which I was sort of preferring at the time. I tend to swing back and forth between photo and video. And then I actually worked with an agency, luckily enough, that got quite a big client in like the fashion industry. So I started doing like a lot of the fashion week stuff, sort of around like America and Europe.
Are you still working at this point, or is Aldi out the door?
I quit ALDI. I quit ALDI with like no security.
Was that a good day though?
Oh, it's
The relief,
It was
weight
the
off the
best day.
shoulders.
It was like, it's probably pretty stupid looking back, but they put me on like the first till, whereas like in ALDI it's kind of weird. Like till 1 you're never off because they try to like close the tills if it's kind of quiet.
Right.
Till 1 you're never off, and I was like, you bastard, you put me in. I'm sat here for 10 hours.
Yeah.
So I literally went to the toilet, piece of paper, wrote like, I'm leaving, and just gave it to my boss and walked out. And I was like, I'm
You just
not doing
thought,
this shit
this is-
anymore.
yeah, I'm
I
over
was
it.
like, I can't.
That sounds like out of the Dylan notebook.
Yeah, I've
The
been
old
through
job
my.
exit.
Well, I must be on about 14 by now.
Yeah.
But the day that I get to finally quit working for retail will be great.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
It'll be a good day.
It's a big day.
My favourite story from Dylan was when he left scooter job. He was like selling electric scooters, and the way
Scooter Hut.
How long did he last?
A day.
A single day.
A single day I went, and then I didn't want to go back.
And then
Because I didn't realise that it also included like building scooters.
Oh.
So kids would come in.
So what? They'd come boxed, and,
And-
then you would have to.
No. So we have all the parts in the store, right? So they'd buy like the deck and then the handlebars, and you got to construct it. So
Right.
then I'm like day one, I'm thinking, well, I don't fucking know how to do this, man. Like
You're not Bob
my
the
hands
Builder.
are getting all like greasy, and I just thought I'm not coming back.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's when I threw the keys at the door, a little drive-by quit.
Whoa.
Because the problem was, I knew after the first day I wasn't going back,
Okay.
but I accidentally kept the keys in my pocket for like one of the glass cabinets, and they messaged me like, "Oh, do you have the keys?" And I was like, I just messaged back like, "Nah, I don't know where they are." But then I kind of felt guilty for keeping the keys.
Stealing the keys to the
So
shop.
I thought like what I did was, it was across the road from a big shopping centre, this Scooter Hut. So I dropped my girlfriend off at her job. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. Then I thought, you know what, like I'll just fucking... So as I crossed the road, went into the car park and just like literally just threw the keys at the door, sent them a text message like, "Hey, keys are at the door, won't be coming back to work." And that's that, man.
That's fucking great.
Oh, but yeah, retail jobs suck.
Yeah.
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 They're horrible. But I feel like you kind of... I'm glad I did it for
Yeah.
a short period of my time because I feel like I learned a lot like talking
How
to,
long were
like,
you at Aldi for?
longer than I wanted to be. I originally sort of was like, oh, I'd be there for like 6 months and
Yeah.
I'll dip. And I was there for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
It's like, like 18 months.
You meet
type
some
of thing.
interesting characters. That's
That
for
was
sure.
like enough of a taste to realise I don't want to do this anymore.
100%.
Yeah.
I think I remember watching Casey Neistat
Yeah.
back in them days, and I was like, and he said something that was like, work a shit job and you'll realise what you want to do.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I was like, so true. I was sat there like, thinking of all the things that I'd rather do than
Yeah,
sit
our
here.
generation's a bit more brave where we just are like, fuck it.
Exactly.
Whereas
Yeah.
like I feel like the older generations just stay there for 50 years.
Yeah, 100% get sort of, and I was very sort of, when I was there, I was super like aware that a lot of people who are older than me have got like kids, married, and they're locked in, and they can't just go traveling or whatever. So
Mortgages and stuff,
yeah,
bills that have to
exactly,
be paid,
yeah.
you know?
So I quit and just went traveling. Went to Asia.
Still taking photos and stuff along the way.
I took a drone, took a camera, took all that shit. Barely used the drone ever because I was scared of losing it. I was scared of like crashing it into the ocean or something.
Did you ever release like YouTube videos or anything?
Yeah,
like that?
I did. Yeah, I was making like, they were getting like 50 views a video.
Yeah. But you were enjoying it.
Yeah, I was just,
Yeah.
I was learning. It was more the editing process for me that was super important back then. I was sort of learning how to edit, and that sort of set me up quite well when I was like approaching clients later on.
Yeah, it's a good skill to have if you can do it all
So
yourself.
good. Yeah, sort of so good. And then I was working the fashion stuff. It was like a lot of fun, like party and fashion week's crazy.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. And it was kind of
Okay.
like awful timing. I sort of just started to like
Yeah, you
get
were
a leg
starting to
up,
get there.
and then COVID hit and just fucking ruined everything. So then I was like just hammering Warzone and lockdown and
Yeah.
stuff, and I was like,
Back at home?
yeah, back at home.
Where's home? You said Manchester?
Manchester? Yeah. Like suburbs of Manchester, a place called Stockport, tiny small town. Well, it's not a small town at all, but it's like small town mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
It's kind of very easy to get stuck there. I feel like, which is quite. I was very aware of that, trying to get out of there. And then just sort of built it back up, and then I was just trying to take as much work on as possible, sort of coming out of that second lockdown. It was quite bad here, right? Lockdown, it was awful at home.
In the rest of Australia, they had lots of lockdowns, but Western Australia kind of shut the borders to the rest of Australia, so we weren't allowed to leave and people weren't allowed to come.
Oh yeah.
So we had a couple lockdowns, but for like a week.
Yeah, they were like a couple weeks.
So we were actually living pretty
okay.
free here
Yeah.
for most of
Yeah.
the whole COVID thing.
That's great. Yeah.
It was a crazy time though in the world.
It's wild. I mean, thinking back, it's like, what?
It felt like a
what
movie.
happened?
That's what I
Yeah.
like. It'll be something so weird when we tell our kids. They'll just think it's not. Did everyone
know.
steal the like? Over here, a big thing was there was no toilet paper left on the shelves.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone was going
panicking.
nuts. Was that a?
Yeah, it's the same at home. Yeah.
The toilet paper, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, I
What's
know.
wrong with people?
That's
Like,
what people go for.
I know, it's wild.
But
But
COVID was such like a bad time for the world, but it propelled a lot of people into, you know, certain facets that they
Yeah,
wanted
because
to explore.
you feel like you lost, particularly again, us younger generation, feel like we lost like 2 prime years, which
Yeah,
is,
exactly, yeah.
you know what I mean? So
It's kind of wild. I mean, like people say that when the stock market dips, you make the most millionaires or something, right? And it's kind of the
Yeah,
same with
yeah.
like digital creators.
Yep.
They all popped off during lockdown, like streamers, for example,
Yeah.
and everyone sat in not doing anything. They all sort of blew up.
Even
so.
our listens went up during
yeah,
COVID.
because
Yeah, I
everyone's
bet.
at home
Yeah.
doing nothing, you know?
And it was good because we didn't lock down. Dylan and I could still do the podcast.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, it was actually really good during that time to have something to do and like edit
Yeah.
and put out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you know, suffered a lot during that time.
Yeah, because if, you know, you're not in your daily routine of
Yeah.
like work or seeing friends, there's nothing to do.
Yeah, I know. It's changed the world completely. Like people working from home now. It's
Yeah,
kinda-
remote jobs are the in thing. But I guess it's shown that a lot of jobs can be remote as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just changed. Like coffee shops probably aren't the same as what they used to be.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people sort of doing the lunch run from work, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. But it's a crazy world, man.
It
So
is.
you come out of COVID and what, you just hit it kind of full steam?
Yeah, I was just sort of like using as many contacts I had, sort of just asking them to do if they had any like little jobs. I was doing like my own sort of projects as well, but that was just sort of keeping myself busy really. I was just doing like a lot of behind the scenes projects at that time. I was just trying to like, it's like just keep myself sort of busy out of the house. I'd been in there for the last 2 years sort of thing. So, and that's sort of when the Harry stuff kicked off. I didn't know it was Harry Styles at all. It was all NDA'd.
Okay. Did that make you think, oh, I might be onto something?
Yeah, I was like, it must be someone pretty big. If like they're not going to tell me who it is. I was like, it can only be a certain few people.
So you got
in the
like an
world.
offer to do photography for,
Yeah, they were
but
like-
it was all kind of hush hush.
It was a producer I know, knew a producer who was producing it. It was as it was.
Right.
Yeah, that's that full like it's all about who you know type
Yeah.
shit. Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
That's one thing
it's
we've
wild.
learned through
Yeah,
what
it's
we're
wild.
doing. Like creating contacts has led us to so many opportunities where you just make crazy memories with people you never thought you'd be with.
Yeah, I know.
So,
It's
yeah.
kind of it's like the smallest contact or the people that you think aren't.
You never know who's going to be the
Some
contact.
people are just plugged, and you just never
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just never realize
It's
until they're like,
unbelievable.
oh, I've got all this shit. I'm just like,
It's amazing.
yeah. So I went down to London. So I went down to London. I paid for my own hotel and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because I think they thought I was in London. So I was like, I'm not going to say no and ruin like a project and not get
Yeah.
something.
It's a long way from Manny to London too, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and I was trying to find the cheapest hotel, and cheap hotels in London don't exist. I was
Yeah.
in like a
we found that. We've been looking at them and they're
Oh, yeah,
insane, man.
And the ones that are like even reasonable are so terrible.
Okay.
Like shitholes. Like it was like shared bathroom, shared shower.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah,
place.
see, I'm
And I
not
was
living like that. I don't want to.
I remember calling my girlfriend and I was like, I need to get the fuck out of this place. I can't live here. Yeah, and then I did that. We did that project. It was like 5 days. It's like a few days of rehearsals, and then Harry's creative director called me like a few days when I got home, a few days later, and asked me to go and do another shoot the next week. And I was like, fucking get it. I was so happy. 'Cause I
You're
was
like, fuck ALDI.
work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it just sort of snowballed, and now we're here.
That's crazy. Was it like overwhelming at first, or was it a bit like everything was just happening quick and
I
it?
wouldn't say overwhelming. I didn't really get like maybe like starstruck or anything like I was sort of, he's from like really same like close to
Oh,
where I'm
okay.
from,
That
and he's around
helps.
a similar age. He's like 2 years
Yeah.
older than me, so we sort of get on quite well as like friends.
Yeah.
which I think helps massively.
Definitely, yeah.
Um,
Helps us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't sort of overwhelming. It was more that I'd never shot like a live show before. I was more just like photos and then like, you know, classic sort of video. It wasn't really live shows or tours or anything. And then they asked me to shoot like a smaller show before. I kind of got lucky with like the time, and he was about to release an album and then go on tour. It was like there was a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
And then I shot a little show, and then he was touring Europe, and they had like 2 weeks where the other photographer was sort of like not available. So I went on tour for 2 weeks. I was like, wow, first time on a tour bus, like all that stuff. And I was like, I was more sort of starstruck about being on a tour.
Yeah,
bus,
just
to
the
be
actual.
honest.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. Tell us about like life on tour, and I guess continue with that first one, and then just traveling in general. And
Yeah. So after I did like 4 shows in fact, I was meant to do 5 shows and one got called up, one got cancelled because there was a active shooter across the road in Copenhagen, like in last summer. It was wild. So that was like very, very unfortunate. Like sad. Like, it was weird to sort of be around it because it was quite big on the news, and I was like,
changes the energy, doesn't it?
It was weird. Like and you know the Harry shows are very sort of positive and like it's good energy, and then there's like something very unfortunate happening close by. And then I got told that they wanted me to do the 3 months for the North America tour, which is like a month in New York, 2 weeks in Chicago and Austin in Texas, and then a month in LA.
Had you been to America before that?
Yeah, a couple of times. Only on the East Coast. I'd never been to like LA or anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was all really new. So I was kind of learning on the go, and then now I'm here. But I mean, going back to your like learning how like tour life, it's kind of wild. Like living out of a suitcase and like little things like when do you unpack, when do you not unpack? Because like you're here for like a day, you know, living on a tour bus in like a single bed with someone above you and someone below you. It's wild. It takes a lot to get used to. Like
Not
really
as
is.
glamorous as you would imagine. No,
I mean you get to see some great places, which is very glam. Like you know, you get some, like not here.
Yeah,
I've never been to Australia before, and I'm here.
Yeah, you're doing well here.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing well here.
I kind of feel like privileged that your first proper day in Australia, we're with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a perfect Australian day.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like it's as good as it gets.
A bit hot for your liking.
Just a little bit hot for my pale skin. Yeah. But yeah, it's just it's a lot of fun. I like sort of putting myself in uncomfortable positions.
Yeah.
I like to try and do it more and more. And you know, touring is definitely uncomfortable sometimes, but I love it.
What are some of your favourite places that you've been to?
I really liked LA.
Yeah.
Yep.
We get mixed reviews on that from
we've had-
guests.
some mixed reviews.
Some people don't like the way people live their life in LA. Like it's very. We had someone on the show who was saying that, like he was going to a party and then they were like asking how many followers you have, and they would judge you on that.
It's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's definitely a thing. I never got. In fact, someone I know. Actually, I remember them telling me they got asked sort of straight up. I think they were on a date, and like the first couple of questions were like, "How many followers do you have?" And I'm like, "What a weird thing to say." What the fuck? Yeah, it is definitely like a strange place. I've never been anywhere like it. I mean, it's massive. Like I don't think people realize how big LA actually is. Like it's huge.
So, what did you enjoy about LA?
I mean, the weather was great. I was there in sort of November time, so it was like snowing and shit at home, and I was like living sort of on the beach pretty much.
Yeah.
The people, I think if you're a creative in that area, then there's a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
Sort of, there's a lot of other photographers, digital creators, that sort of thing, who are in kind of the same area, like you know, like Venice, Santa Monica areas. Like West Hollywood is like, it's great. It's great for like networking.
Yeah, the contacts would be insane.
Yeah, it's
that
amazing.
You can make there.
Exactly. So yeah, that was great. And then I really liked like Hamburg in Germany, randomly enough. Again, great weather when I was there in summer. Sort of, and it was very new to tour for me. So I was like kind of experiencing everything, and like it was kind of wild, but great place.
How do you go having a girlfriend on tour? Like, is it difficult doing the long distance thing?
Yeah,
does she
that's a
ever
good
come with you? What does she do for work as well?
It's a great question. I mean, she lives in Sweden, so we're kind of a distance anyway. So it probably made it slightly easier that we didn't have to like completely like separate all the time. I met her actually in Asia when I went traveling. So we kind of sort of had a relationship from a distance ever since.
Yeah.
It gets quite tough to play with the time difference now, for example. Like she's like, asleep, you know, so like I can't talk to him till like afternoon, and then we got like 3 hours, then like again I go to sleep sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit tough, especially when you're there for a long time. Like I'm away for like 6 weeks right now, so it gets a little bit tough, but it also has opportunities where she can come out to like shows and places that she probably might not have been to before. That definitely has its benefits.
And you're also saying that you grew up playing football or soccer.
Yeah.
You a big fan, or have you sort of
big Arsenal fan?
Arsenal.
There you go.
Not a great day yesterday. We lost to
No,
City, but,
the lead's slipping a bit, isn't it?
Slightly, yeah. I mean, I never actually thought we're going to win the league. I don't think we will still.
Well, you still got the game in hand, so if you win that, you go top.
I just think like City squad depth is just a joke.
Yeah,
It's mad.
And they're kind of like they've been there so many times.
Haaland, like he's fucking like
Just as an addition, it's like
Yeah.
an extra, you know.
Exactly, like Haaland against like we got Nketiah. It's like, come on, mate. Like Jesus.
He's
But
been like, to be
he's
fair,
been
he's been
good.
serviceable.
Yeah.
He's been good, but I kind of feel like, you know, the question before the season of City create that many chances, Haaland, anyone could score it from.
Yeah.
It's kind of been the same for Arsenal. I think at the minute, it's like we've been playing so well that
Yeah.
I think like anyone could. Do
Whoever's
a
there
solid
is going
job.
to get it, yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, but fair play to him. He's
Yeah.
actually done all right.
There's also like a common misconception of people from England and stuff who come here and they just assume that we know nothing about the sport
Yeah.
because we're from Australia.
Yeah.
But we love it. And
Yeah.
like we feel as though we're pretty
Yeah, Australians
knowledgeable.
love every sport, I guess.
Yeah,
Because
very
particularly
much.
in Perth, it's kind of boring here, so we got to latch on to any entertainment we can, man.
Well, you have foot like
AFL, yeah.
right, yeah.
You can't catch a game, actually. It's an off season.
Yeah. Oh, it
is.
would have been
Oh,
good for
that's
you
it.
guys.
That would
'cause
have been sick.
We've got a 6 stadium here over there,
Yeah.
Optus Stadium. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
great.
footy games are pretty good here.
Yeah.
We have 2 teams.
I
West
definitely
Coast and
recommend it
Freo.
if you ever come back to Australia to go to a game,
100%.
whether it's in Melbourne or
Melbourne
here.
has the MCG as well, which is like 100,000 seater stadium, and that's
Jesus.
pretty crazy. That would be
But
good.
yeah, we love that sport. But it's funny because we grew up watching it and playing it, so it's harder for other people to comprehend and understand the rules.
Well,
and
and
stuff.
just because it's Australian only,
Yeah.
like it is really odd to understand.
Yeah.
Exactly. It isn't sort of played anywhere else in
No.
the world,
No.
right? Like it's a
It's the-
circle pitch.
It's like
you
an
know?
oval.
Yeah,
Oval
it's
pitch.
pretty big though.
And the closest thing to it is like Gaelic football in
Yeah,
Ireland.
yeah.
And they've actually done a thing called international.
Yeah, we get
rules,
a lot of Gaelic players
Where-
as international players.
Like they've done this thing where Ireland will play against Australia in a mixed game, so that's half of their rules and half of ours,
Oh,
and
that's
they're trying
pretty
to
sick.
integrate the two.
That's cool.
I used to love that. I actually liked playing like the international rules version more
Yeah.
than our
that used to be really fun. They would
Yeah.
have like it was the all Australian team or whatever would
Yeah.
play. Yeah, it was good.
That's sick.
But,
But that doesn't happen.
yeah. So
anymore.
how did you end up supporting Arsenal, being from Manchester?
I think my dad sports Liverpool, stepbrother sports United. So like we're all sort
Pick
of the
your own.
complete-
Bit
yeah,
different, yeah.
literally. I mean, when I was growing up, it was sort of Henry, Freddie Ljungberg,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Perez days.
An
So it was-
elite team.
Yeah, like a joke of a team. And I just sort of, I don't know, I think I really liked Henry when I was like
Yeah.
7 or 8. So I
Yeah.
was like, this
That's
is
the
me.
one for me.
This is me, sort of like, yeah. So I just sort of stuck with them, and it's been a rough time.
You're
for the
getting- you're
past,
back-
like-
you're back
yeah,
at-
we're all right
at the
now.
top now.
We're all right now, which is nice.
It looks
but-
like the next 5 years are locked
You're looking
in as well.
promising.
Exactly, yeah. I just need to make a few transfers and we're good.
Definitely. Because
Yeah.
all the other teams were making transfers, and
That's
you
the
guys
thing.
made like a couple.
Yeah.
The level in
Jorginho,
the Premier League's insane now.
Yeah.
Every team's got good players.
Yeah.
Every team's got money. Like,
apart from
100%.
mine.
yeah, your team's going down. He goes to Southampton.
Yeah, it's hard.
That is peak at the minute.
He's in trouble.
Southampton.
You're
Why
gonna be
Southampton?
You're going to be watching championship games.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Sad, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna we're planning on going to England next year, and like I'm gonna have to go to a championship game.
Yeah.
I've
Championship
heard-
games
I've
are great.
yeah, I've
like,
heard they're good.
Like a lot, like probably more fun than most Premier League games.
At least we'll get to experience that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
100%.
There you go.
No, I support Southampton because there was an Italian player that I really liked on FIFA,
Oh, yeah.
and like I used his card on Ultimate Team and
Oh, yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
and then he ended up getting a transfer to Southampton. Was there for a few years,
Mm-hmm.
scored a few goals, got injured, went back to Italy, but.
The love stayed.
Yeah, the love stayed for the
Oh.
club because, like, obviously, if he was doing well, the club was doing well.
Yeah.
And then when he left, I found myself still checking the scores and whatnot. So, yeah, for the past maybe like 3 or 4 years, I've been all in on them, sadly. But
Loyal.
Yeah.
That's a loyal. That's a loyal
well,
supporter.
it's like Dylan said to me the other week, he goes, how do you feel that you support a club that's never going to be like top 6? Like, you'll always be.
Unless
either-
it's a miracle, you know what I mean?
You'll always be like
Yeah.
bottom or mid table. And I don't know, it's just something that I've bought into now.
Yeah.
And I just have to stay there.
it's quite a fun thing, though. I mean,
Yeah, because like when we
'cause
win,
you're
it's a
fighting
shock.
different battles. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. See, I'm like you. I go for United, so
Yeah.
we've been shit for like a while.
No, you're
And
good.
it's been
Turned a corner.
finally like it's nice to just be like in contention for top 4.
Yeah.
Not the butt of everyone's jokes.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I went for them because my brother did.
Yeah.
They were really, the best team. And then as I become a teenager and they're just a shit.
when
And
you
I'm
want
like,
them to be good.
oh, like, this is just depressing, bro. Like now Chelsea started winning, Man City
yeah.
win everything.
you
and
missed the golden years.
I did. I was
Yeah.
too young, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
Oh, tragedy, bro.
It is a tragedy.
At least we're doing all right now. They'll
Oh,
get better.
definitely.
better.
Definitely. All right, we'll take a little break and then we'll come back. I've got a couple of voice messages and a confession sent in from the people. So, yeah, we'll have a little drinks break and then we'll get back. All right, we're back from our little break. All right, let's get into some voice messages, Dylan.
Let's do it.
We hope you're enjoying the Jamo and Dylan Show. It's now time to have your stories heard and your questions answered. To be featured on the Poddy, message the boys at Jamo and Dylan on Instagram.
All right.
Bit of a weird one. Let us know if this has happened to you.
Hey fellas, hope you're doing well. I just had this funniest thing happen. So I'm like scrolling on Tinder and I see a guy and I'm like, oh, he's like decent, like he's, you know. And I'm like scrolling through his photos and then what do I see? He has a photo with you two. So I immediately swipe right on this man because I'm like, he must have a good sense of humour to listen to these two. And now we're like having like good conversation. So without that picture of you two, like I would not have swiped on him. So I just thought that was so funny that, oh, I just can't. That was just too funny. Anyway, have a good day, fellas.
Like that's what he's put on his Tinder.
That's so
And
funny.
she reckons in the next one he was saying like, oh yeah, I'm from Perth, like I see them all the time or some shit
Yeah,
like
we
that.
don't-
And stuff like that's so weird.
Because we don't remember him.
You're getting used.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you? Do people like...
I've never, I mean, there's a lot of times when I get asked for photos, I see them on like Twitter and like Instagram
Okay,
and stuff, but it's never like people using it as for their
Yeah.
own. It's clever from a
I've
guy.
seen it lots. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We get sent it a fair bit. Like, people will take a photo with us and then a girl will say, I only swiped on him because you guys.
That's so good.
It's not really the way it should be,
I
though.
mean, 100%.
But it does sort of, like, if he has taken a photo with us, I hope he likes us and appreciates our content. So it sort of does work with the humour thing. Like, maybe they will get along if they both like us.
Something
like
in common.
Common interest, yeah. So I don't mind it, but
funny, though.
I don't think I would do it personally.
Yeah, you always see that in like lots of Tinders. Some guys will have only group photos, you know, and it's
Yeah.
their three like
Yeah.
good looking mates and then just trying to, but it is what it is. You got to play the game, I guess.
I wonder if someone's ever messaged him, asked him about you two, not knowing who you are. You know, like, oh, is your friend single?
yeah.
Is your friend on the left single?
There
Is your
we
friend on your
go.
right single?
Yeah, let us know, man.
I humbly hope so.
Yeah, for the ego, eh? Yeah. Nice
Give me a
little ego
boost.
boost.
But no, that's good. Good value.
Hey guys, I'm a big fan of the podcast. I'm a relatively new listener. I'm American, but I've been listening in France, so I've tried to put my French friends on, but they just don't quite get the humor. Anyways, I found your podcast on TikTok, and as I was watching the TikTok videos, I thought Dylan was more of the conversation controller, and Jamo kind of made the witty remarks. But as I listened to more and more of the podcast, now I'm thinking Jamo is the one who kind of controls the topics a bit more, and Dylan makes the controversial, kind of funny remarks.
He talks
What do you guys think about that?
Here's another one, shall I play?
Yeah,
What's
go.
number 2?
I just want to add, obviously both you guys are hilarious, and love you guys. Thanks.
What an odd
Thanks,
man.
man. No, that was strange, but he tried to put the French people on, which we appreciate. We always like it when people try and share
That's
the
a
show.
very rare American listener.
Yeah, we don't have many Americans.
really?
No.
Barely at all.
It's that
Do they not
humour-
get the banter?
When
barrier,
TikToks
yeah.
blow up, they usually, like, you can see where they're getting views from.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
when
yeah.
they have lots of views, it's always because they've hit kind of America, like the views
okay.
there.
It's always the dumb TikToks that blow up in America as well.
The ones you get loads of hate for. Is that what-
The good ones, man. You know?
But no, like, we appreciate him as a listener. It's funny that he thought that from the TikToks.
Yeah. And he said your name wrong initially.
Yeah.
The Jamo. You hate
Yeah,
that.
it's Jamo.
But then I
yeah.
think he corrected it at the end.
I don't know if he did, but it's
we go.
okay.
Do you feel that dynamic just naturally?
I don't really know.
Or is it sort of
I don't
just,
notice anything.
No,
while-
we don't.
Nah.
Because we're not really listening to ourselves.
Yeah, of course.
We're just like, I might listen through the edit one time, but no. I think, like, today Dylan's led a lot of the topics and questions.
It really depends.
On
I
the
think
guest, on the week.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It depends.
don't-
We rotate.
Yeah.
Sometimes one person might have something more to say, or
Yeah.
it kind of just rotates in and out.
I think it's a good
and
balance.
You see how you go.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's also like about when someone else is speaking, letting them talk too. You know, because
Yeah.
if they have something to say,
Yeah.
so sometimes being quiet's just as valuable.
Yeah,
you know what I
let them
mean.
breathe,
Indeed.
space.
Mm.
Yeah.
Most definitely. All right, a couple of confessions.
It's now time to dive into your deepest and darkest confessions. Let's hear what the people have to get off their chest.
All right, first one of the week.
Yeah, mate, you read that one.
Okay. Hey lads, love the potty and have been a long time listener. I have a confession, so please keep the name anonymous. Recently I had a big night and ended up getting home late and sleeping in the same room as two of my mates. In the morning, one of my friends said that I got up in the middle of the night, sleepwalking, went to the corner of the room, stood over my other friend, pulled my pants down and proceeded to take a piss. That's outrageous
That's
so
disrespectful.
far.
That is so
That's
fucked.
And he doesn't know that this is happening.
sleepwalking.
He quickly stopped me and directed me to the bathroom. Coincidentally, my dog has been pissing a lot around the house overnight, and he was copping the blame for it. Now I'm thinking maybe it wasn't the dog, and it might have been me pissing on the floor while sleepwalking and then blaming it the next day.
Poor
The
fucking
dog's
dog.
probably thinking,
Dog's not
Wow.
Shit, if dog's been getting put outside for hours on end.
that's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. I can't believe that people can do that.
That's
Like,
a terrible habit.
You a sleepwalker
sleepwalking.
at all?
No, never.
I've
what
never
about
done it
dreams?
either.
Do you have like any
Not really. No. Like,
nightmares? No.
no, my girlfriend dreams all the time, but I'm
I don't
pretty
dream a
peaceful
lot.
sleeper.
Yeah.
I feel like people that dream, they're living like two lives.
Yeah.
One
Must
one
be
in
nice.
their head, one.
I know, but I feel like when I dream, I'm never like, I'm always tired when I wake up. I'm not sure if that's like
Okay.
correlates.
Okay, interesting.
I used to. I remember Dylan was talking about like lucid dreaming and wasn't there a phase you tried to learn
I
it?
think I was like 14 and I tried to, I don't know what happened. It was like school holidays, you know, like you try to pick something up. And I self-studied lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
And because I can't do it at school, right? The training, you can't do it at school because you look like a weirdo. What you have to do is, so every hour, right, you have to like do these things. So then when you're in your dream, you do it. So every hour, you have to look at your watch because in a dream you won't be able to see the time; it'll be fuzzy, and you have to try and put your hand through a wall, right? I swear, man, because in a dream your hand will go through the wall, right? So I'm doing this every hour for like 2 weeks on school holidays, right? And then finally, at the end of school holidays, I was in a dream, and it was like a war theme that I was in, like a those like Jeep, like dark green.
Put your hand through.
And what happened
platform
was,
line
no,
and
I
three-quarters?
checked my watch,
Yeah.
saw that, and I went, oh my God, I'm in a dream, got real excited and woke up, right? So that was my first, but then I lost the skill because obviously I was back at school and I didn't want to get bullied or something,
remember-
That's full, imagine
It's funny you haven't told anyone until your early 20s.
Yeah. But that was, man, it was an adventure.
It was.
So yeah, lucid dreaming.
I remember
You should give it a go on tour.
Checking my watch every hour.
At the concert, just like...
My girlfriend won't like this, but when I was like, I reckon around the same age, it wasn't necessarily lucid dreaming, but I had an infatuation with Ariana Grande. I just really liked her, and I wanted
Lots
to
of people do, I guess,
I wanted to have her in my dream. So I would just what I would do was actually myself and a mate we went to school with. I'll tell you after, and we would think about her for like 20 minutes before bed, and then fingers crossed you dream about her. And I reckon it worked like 3
I hope
times.
you get to meet her one day. That would be so
That's a great
good.
story to
I'm
tell
having
her.
this clip ready, man,
She'll be
at all
creeped out
times.
about that story.
Thinking about it 20 minutes before bed.
No, guys, you made it weird.
That's unbelievable.
But no, it's funny things you do when you're young.
Yeah.
Like that 13, 14 is like
It's an interesting time to be alive.
It's a real
you
like
know?
discovery type.
Trial and error
It
type of
is.
thing.
And yeah, I know there'd be lots of stories from lots of people around the world. Some are just more willing to share.
Yeah.
Like us. All right. Here
Which
we
one?
go.
There's actually 2. One's from the 18th.
Oh.
Is it that one, or is it the latest
Nah.
one?
I don't like the first one anymore. Actually, maybe. Nah. Oh, I'm not sure.
Nah.
Nah, we'll go. Okay, the latest one. Okay, so he's submitted this as a court case, but the courtroom is closed now, so we just do confessions,
Yep.
but this will still work. On the 8th of January 2023, my partner and I split up. It was a 5-year relationship. However, we are stuck living together in a 5-bedroom flat.
At least you got
Five
lots of room.
Hell.
Are they rich? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's really hard to find a new flat in the city of Wellington, so New Zealand.
Oh, there you go. You're off to New Zealand.
I might bump into them.
You can stay there. It's
Yeah,
fucking
no, yeah,
5
free-
bedrooms.
free
Hold the whole
accommodation.
team up.
We have had to live together for the past 2 weeks as my new flat wasn't available until now. We also live 8 hours away from home, so I can't stay with family. However, during the last week, I was on Tinder meeting girls for a cheeky one-nighter. Am I in the wrong for not waiting until I moved out, or is it completely valid for me to do so? I've been feeling a little bit guilty, so I thought I'll bring it to the courtroom. Cheers, boys. Love the Poddy. I think he's a bit guilty. There's 1
It's an
week.
interesting one.
He's got to
Oh,
wait,
it's only
like,
been a
what?
week, yeah.
No, he's got a week left until he moves.
Oh, come on, man.
And he's doing it in her house with the ex-girlfriend in there.
Yeah, that's wild.
Disrespectful.
Wait a week,
disrespectful.
7
eh?
days,
He doesn't
bro.
give a
7
fuck,
days.
man.
He clearly 5 years as well. Doesn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, that's really ruthless. I forgot about the 5 years thing. That's
Yeah, that kind of went over my
a
head.
contributor.
That's a long time.
5 years.
That's
and
a good
he's what?
effort.
that's
wild.
mental.
Wow, they got over that one quickly.
Yeah, but if that was in the courtroom, he's guilty and he's getting a few years at least.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
What
5
are-
years
yeah.
in 1 week.
Definitely. What are some other hobbies you have outside of football and outside of photography?
I like to try and run, especially when I'm on tour in like
Yep.
nice places like here.
Would you
Just
say you're a
running.
good runner?
I'm more of a fast runner than a long distance
Okay.
runner. I'm
So-
more like a sprint. I used to do sprinting as a kid, so I'm
Right.
like short distance, but trying to learn to like
Yeah,
slow
yeah.
down.
Yeah. So how far do you pay? Do you have
I
a...
try and do like 5Ks.
Okay.
Try and stick to
Oh,
like
that's a
5Ks.
good amount.
something.
Yeah, that's it.
It doesn't take too long either, so I
Yeah.
can sort of do them.
Subtle flex.
You know what I mean?
Fast runner doesn't take too long.
Yeah, like it's hard to sort of keep in a routine and like
Yeah.
you know like hobbies when you're moving constantly. Like
Oh,
flying is a
definitely.
hobby at this point.
Yeah.
It's because I'm constantly sort of moving around. But
Favorite airline?
Emirates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Emirates are pretty good.
Classy.
The long haul ones are good. In fact, we flew here on Qantas, which was actually
Yeah.
a really
Yeah,
nice
Qantas
flight.
is a good one.
I've never flown Emirates. I'd love to.
I've
Emirates
flown
is
it
good.
once. It is nice. Yeah.
It's good.
I think that because you said you caught the direct flight. That's a newer flight from London to
Oh,
Perth.
yeah?
I
It's
think they only just got
about a
introduced.
year ago or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think there's like one a day because the
Yeah.
one before us got cancelled, so we were all like kind of panicking that
Yeah.
ours would get cancelled, but it was just so long.
Would
like
that be
17.
the longest flight in the world?
It'd have to be
It's
up
quite
there.
far off.
It'd have to be up there. There wouldn't be too many direct flights that go longer.
I was shocked there was even 17 hours. Like, surely there's like, where'd you put all the fuel?
Yeah,
for
that's
that?
what I was thinking. I think that's why it took so long to get it up and running, because the capacity to hold that much jet fuel, surely that
Yeah.
would weigh down the plane.
And it wasn't a big plane either. I was expecting like
really?
a big like double decker, you know,
Yeah.
like
But
it
the
wasn't.
big Emirates. You know, it was like a normal size.
Maybe
like,
those
plane.
big ones burn too much or something. I'm no pilot. I don't know much about planes,
No,
but
neither.
You a window seat man or like a middle?
I'm normally an aisle, but
An aisle,
17, I was like, I need a window. Some
Yeah.
natural light would make
Yeah.
a big
Were
difference.
you sitting with people you knew though?
No, I didn't know the girl next to me.
Okay.
Which was, I was kind of glad because then I don't have to like, it's not awkward if I like, you know, can I go to the toilet?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like if it's someone I know, I'm like, here we go. I gotta like wake them up. I'm like, when you're
yeah.
sleeping, like on a 17-hour sleep is essential.
Yeah.
Especially when you're changing time zones and you want
Yeah.
to try and like fix the schedule. And I was like waking this girl up, asking to go to the bathroom. It was a little bit awkward,
Yeah.
but I'm never gonna see her again.
it is
so
what it
I
is.
don't
That's
care.
true.
How do you deal with all the jet lag going from different places to place?
I tried to just like run and sleep at like the right times.
Yeah.
You sound like an athlete.
I'm definitely not an athlete. I'm far from, but like sometimes you just can't. Like you just gotta like it's just is what it is. You're just tired a lot. If you're in one place for not that long, you can sort of just stick to the normal schedule, like at home or wherever you're going. It definitely takes some getting used to though. It's rough.
And where's been like some of the best places for a night out? You've obviously had a few around the world.
In New York's a good night
Yeah?
out.
Okay. It
New
sounds
York-
like it would be.
New York's a cool night out. I went out in Brooklyn a few times when I was there. Yeah, New York's good. LA's pretty good. It's just really expensive.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Really expensive.
That's interesting.
Same with Oslo, actually. Oslo is a good night out, but it's so expensive.
Is that Norway?
Yeah. Capital of Norway. We went recently and it was like 5 sort of like sushi like plates. It was like $200 and I was like,
Wow.
fucking hell. I was like, that's ridiculous.
It's incredible.
Yeah, but
You picking up the bill for that one or you
No.
pass that one on?
we'll split that one.
That's
That-
always
yeah.
funny, that story you tell when we went for...
Like a dinner. It was like dinner and drinks with Cal Freezy and his crew.
Yeah.
And it was in Melbourne, and it was this like, dim lit.
Like a suave place.
Suave.
You know what I mean?
Soho
Like-
House vibes.
Yeah.
It was real nice, and we sort of tagged along at the end. We were invited. We didn't just show up.
Fancy seeing you.
Stalking them, bruv, you know?
And then, no, like we had a few drinks and stuff, and then the waitress passed me the bill. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, golly gosh.
We got to get a plane home, you know? We can't pay for this.
And
Like,
I tossed it over to Cal Freezy because I was like, I'm sorry, mate, I can't. And
It's
he
a
was like,
compliment, though.
yeah, that's like you got it sorted, bro. Like, you're all right.
Yeah.
no, but he was very good about it. We also went to karaoke with them. That was awesome. Like
Karaoke, really?
I actually love karaoke. That's
It
what I
is a good
realised.
Is
time.
it big here, karaoke?
No,
No, not at
it
all,
isn't?
actually.
No, okay.
it's
Nah.
not like Japan. No,
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never really done a karaoke night at a place before.
no.
But we.
There was
so that's
one-
weird. Do you
there
like
was-
karaoke?
I've never actually done it ever.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
really?
It doesn't strike me as the thing that I would like.
If you were
That
drunk
sounds
enough,
awful.
maybe.
Maybe when I was hammered, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't have a singer's voice at all, mate.
No.
There was a pub / hotel / club in Fremantle, which is about half an hour from the city, and
Oh yeah, we have done it there a
it
couple
was
times.
called the Newport, and they would have these big fish bowls, and you drink this blue drink. I didn't even know what it was, but you drink.
They weren't
it.
that good.
They weren't.
And then we went on a golf day,
Yeah,
and then he
like
hired out a
pub-
room, and we had to compete as duos as karaoke.
It was pub golf.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
That sounds like a laugh.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it
you
was
got to
alright.
pick a song and then perform it in front of everyone, and then like the winner got something or an extra point on the pub golf day or something like that. But yeah, that's when we did karaoke
Yeah.
a few times. Was at that pub, and I think. Is it even a thing anymore? I think
I don't think that pub's even open.
no. I think
anymore.
it's closed. It's sad when things like that
Yeah.
happen. Like somewhere that you've always been to or that you have good memories at closes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad
In fact,
times.
actually, I've done karaoke in Iron Apple once.
Oh, really?
On a lad's holiday.
Yeah.
Good time.
Awful. Yeah, I can't actually remember,
Yeah. There
remember
you go.
much of that holiday in general. But
So would you say it was a good trip or you don't know?
Is that a good place?
It was a good. I mean, it depends what your class is good. It's a
Yeah.
shithole. But,
Okay.
But for like going out with the mates,
Yeah.
it's class.
Yeah.
But when I was there, there was 4 of us went, and I had just finished college. 4 of us went, and 2 of them were in a relationship.
Right.
And their girlfriends flew out to surprise them.
Wow.
Oh,
Not the best
That
surprise.
is the most mental thing.
Lads trip
Like-
gone
like-
wrong.
Did their faces drop?
No, they were like kind of secretly happy, and me and the other friend who was single
okay.
were like, "What is going on?"
You've ruined it.
Yeah, literally.
What was
ruined
the
it.
so? What were you just like?
We were walking down the strip,
Hi.
and they came like walking towards us, and I was like, "What is going
Yeah.
on?"
It's like, did you watch The In-Betweeners?
Yeah.
It's like, I think 4 is a great number for a holiday like that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's perfect
Good
number.
group dynamics
Yeah.
and stuff. But remember in The In-Betweeners when Simon thought that Carly was in wherever they were, and like it was Carly.
Yeah,
Carly.
yeah,
Like just when people just rock up at the wrong time.
Yeah,
Stalking, bruv. That's fucked.
yeah, it's the most. Like, it's crazy. I've not talked to them since. I've genuinely not talked to them since.
Do you know,
Crazy
That's
thing to even
unacceptable.
think of. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
are they
It's a
still with
lad's
these
holiday.
girls? Do you know or
No,
not?
they're not. Neither of them
There
are.
you go.
There you go.
Wasn't
So
even
was the
worth
wrong-
it.
Ruined a holiday for no reason.
And then what was so the rest of the holiday just didn't hit the same, did it?
Yeah, they were in a different hotel, so like the 2 guys in relationships would like go off sometimes, and I'm like,
So it's just you and this
Right.
one other guy.
yeah. And luckily, like I got on with him quite well.
Yeah.
But I was like, boys,
The dynamics, the energy, once again.
it's not the same when there's just 2 on a night out. It's a little bit sad.
Yeah. I've found that. Like even
Yeah.
like with myself and my girlfriend, we were in Bali for a month, right? And we wanted to go out, but every time we wanted to go out as a 2, it just felt weird. Like
Yeah.
especially to a nightclub or something
Yeah.
like that. It just
Yeah, it's
felt
weird.
a bit odd.
You can't like.
It doesn't hit the same.
No, it's just combos, like
Yeah.
just normal conversation.
Yeah.
When there's like
Yeah.
a group at like 4, I agree is a perfect.
Yeah.
That
number.
would be great. Because then there's just so
The
much going
dynamics
on.
can switch a bit.
Yeah,
and-
and like four's. It's like, have you been like lads' holidays are? Is Bali like the sort of
probably, yeah.
place to go?
We
for
actually-
it?
We've never been on one, though.
No, the closest thing to a lad's holiday we ever did was leavers, schoolies. It's like,
yeah.
when you finish
When
school.
and that's we went down south to Dunsborough. It's like 3 hours south of Perth.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a beach town. So,
So,
that was
we're,
pretty
we're
good.
all staying together, but in like tents next to each other.
Oh, sick.
It was good though. It was a sick trip.
Yeah.
Great memories. So much went wrong, but so much went right, like
Yeah.
in hindsight. But
How old were you then?
17, 18.
18.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good age to go.
But yeah,
then.
Bali is like probably the spot from Perth. It's only like
3
3
hours.
hour flight, so
Oh, that's-
it's really
that's
popular. It's
nice.
kind of like a part of Western Australia, Bali.
Yeah,
we see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's Cheaper to go there than
a
to
lot of
go
Aussies
to
there,
Australia.
right?
It's cheaper
Yeah.
to go there than to go to like Melbourne or something.
That's wild.
It's insane.
It's like $200 round trip if you get it at a good time.
yeah, and the
Australian dollars
accommodation.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and the accommodation would be pretty
So
good.
cheap.
And yeah,
Like,
it's good there.
yeah, no,
You-
Bali's a great
have you
I've
been?
never been to Bali. No.
Oh. Where did you go? You said you went to Asia, like back.
I went to Thailand and then
Yeah.
I went to Vietnam.
Okay.
Thailand is similar to Bali, and
Yeah.
so well, I only went to Phuket though.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
I've been to Phuket.
Phuket was almost like a cleaner Bali.
Yeah, I kind of like Phuket
Okay,
more than
okay,
Bali,
yeah.
but Bali's
I've been
still
to Phuket
pretty
as well,
good.
Yeah. I thought Thailand was pretty good. I
Yeah.
prefer Vietnam.
I've heard a lot about Vietnam.
Bro,
Is it?
so
Vietnam's
many people.
so
I've just heard
good.
so much. What's
It's
good
so
about
good.
it?
It's
Take
just
us through
like-
your Vietnam trip. There you go.
So I didn't plan on going to Vietnam.
Okay.
So I basically the way I went traveling was I quit my retail job and then on the Monday after I just booked a flight and went. I booked the flight on the Sunday, went Monday morning.
By yourself?
Yeah, I flew because my friend was there doing like a boxing course.
Okay.
Scouser from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to travel with someone who's got a thick Scouse accent.
Yeah.
Like thick. Like I can barely understand it
Okay,
sometimes. Never
yeah.
mind like people from elsewhere. So he was doing like a boxing course and he was like, come out. So I was like, okay, I have nothing else to do. Just
Yeah.
quit work. So I went, did like 3 weeks in Thailand. Did like the south, did the islands, like just sort of chilling out a little bit. And then we went to Vietnam because I had a friend who was working there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's sort of perfect Vietnam because it's long. It's not like a big country. It's sort of
Right.
just like a thin, long country.
Yeah.
So we started south and worked our way up. And there's a lot of people who are doing a similar, like if you meet them in like Ho Chi Minh down south, people doing the same trip. So you can just do it with them pretty much.
Right.
You get on with them.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of perfect. Like in Thailand, if you meet them in like Phuket or Bangkok, people are going everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can't really like just spontaneously go with other people. So Vietnam's great. Food's great. It's less touristy, which is obviously great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cleaner, cheaper. Fucking sick. I really want to go back.
There should go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
It's class. It's class. I mean, you could do this from anywhere. There's loads
Yeah,
of people.
exactly.
Yeah. That's the beauty of this.
100%.
Once it grows a bit bigger and we can do it full time, then definitely we'll take it on the road.
Yeah.
We're even thinking like if we got really big, we could do live shows,
That'd be
get
sick.
people involved because we're a very community-based podcast.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, get people on stage and do a confession live.
Live show in
Yeah, yeah,
Vietnam. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure how many
Yeah,
people
yeah.
would come.
They
but-
probably love it, bro.
There's
Couple
so many
cameras.
English in Vietnam.
really?
It's
Is
crazy.
there?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. There's I met a lot of Aussies when I was away, when I was in Asia.
Yeah.
But there's just, I mean, the English are just everywhere.
Yeah.
You go anywhere and you can find an English person. We're literally everywhere. Yeah. Vietnam's the one.
That's the spot.
Yeah.
We'll add it to the list.
Uh-huh.
Top of the list.
Yeah.
Almost.
That's a good
Is your
recommendation.
like audience-based Australia mainly?
Yeah, mostly Australia. Yeah.
I reckon it would be like 60% Australia, maybe 30 or maybe like 25-30% UK and then the rest New Zealand.
Yeah, a lot of New Zealand, and then there's like 1% America or something,
Yeah.
but not a lot from the US at all.
I think we're like on some charts in like Belarus or something like some
Somewhere just
crazy.
really random.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I get updates and it'll be like, oh, you've gone top 100 in this country, and then you see it's like you've had like 10 listeners in that country, but it's
We
enough
should
to
go
put
to
you in
some
the charts.
like lower country and just stream our podcast and really make it up the
Yeah,
charts.
yeah,
You know, take over in
yeah, just so
Belarus, bro.
we can say we're number one.
Namibia
somewhere.
or something.
yeah.
Namibia's number one podcast. It'd be sick, bro.
Lads trip to Namibia.
People should go to. We should probably go to more random places. Eh?
I reckon that like some of these more obscure countries that you
Probably
wouldn't
be
normally.
sick.
Yeah, I reckon because
Yeah.
they're less travelled, by Western
people
people.
would be so excited to like
yeah.
probably see her.
Yeah. I'd love to do a trip through like Africa.
Yeah, that
it
would
would
be
be
So
sick.
good. I think that's one of the places I wanted to go to Zanzibar,
Okay, where is that?
which is like East Africa, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of similar vibe to Sri Lanka, I think, but it's a long way to go for like.
You've been to Morocco?
No,
I've heard a lot about it. Eh?
my dad actually lives there at the minute.
Really?
Oh, really?
Really randomly. So he moved to Spain, but he had like issues with the visa, so he had to get out of the country in like 2 days. So he
Yeah.
just drove to Morocco, which is like just over like North Africa, just
Yeah,
sort of
yeah,
across
yeah.
the water. So he's there for like 3 months, just living in Morocco.
You like it?
Loves it.
What does he do to be travelling?
He just retired.
Ah,
true.
okay.
So-
Yeah, he just sold his house. He lived
Yep.
in Wales. He sold his house and just dipped, living the dream.
Nice.
Loving it.
Yeah,
Runs in the genes.
Yeah,
a bit
yeah,
of
yeah, the
just
travel, yeah,
going
amazing,
there.
yeah. sort of
That's
just
sick.
yeah. Now he's in Morocco, just living life.
That's
Yeah,
great.
I've heard a lot of good things about Morocco.
So have I.
Kind of want to give it a go.
It's such a strong culture.
Yeah.
Like their culture's very different from a lot of others.
Yeah, I've heard it's fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that. That'd be awesome.
There we go. Vietnam, Namibia. Where did you say? Zanzibar and
Zanzibar.
Morocco.
Quite
What
the
a,
tour.
what
It's
a
quite a
trip
little
that
tour.
is, eh? Holy shit. You'd have some good stories, I think, from that.
Yeah, that's a fucking sick tour.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, wow.
What else are you looking forward to about Australia?
Oh, yeah. What do you think so far? You've only been in Perth for what, a day or?
Yeah, I arrived yesterday, midday. It's not like I've been in so my girlfriend's Swedish, so I've
Yeah.
been sort of there over Christmas. So it's cold, dark, a lot of snow.
Yeah.
So coming here, it's
Yeah,
like
how much daylight do they get in Sweden at the moment?
it's a little bit peak. It's like they get like sunrise at like 9, 8, 9, and then goes down at like 2. Especially if it's like not blue skies, it's even dark, just dark throughout the day.
Oh, at 2 in
PM, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Oh, okay.
But then in summer, it's like the flip. So it's
Yeah.
like they don't,
Yeah.
sun doesn't go down, which is it's like the best place to be for summer.
Yeah.
But winter is like seasonal depression. It's like,
Yeah.
it's real. So coming here, it's like a lot of fun. But I have no like plans really apart from just working.
Yeah.
I have quite a lot of days off though, I think. So
Get to explore a bit.
yeah, just explore. But I've sort of never really. I've always wanted to come to Australia, but I've never had like an excuse. I've got
Yeah.
a lot of friends living in Sydney who I went to school with.
Are you going to
randomly
catch
now.
up with? Do you have enough
Yeah.
time in Sydney?
Yeah, so they're going to come to the shows. I think we're there for like 3 or 4 days. We have
Yeah.
2 shows there, so
Yeah.
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit there for a little bit longer. Which I'm just excited just to. And then we go to New Zealand, which again, super
Yeah.
excited just to
Yeah,
travel.
I've heard it's
around.
really nice in New Zealand.
Everywhere's nice, apparently.
Yeah.
Never been to New Zealand.
We haven't, no.
It's quite a long way from here.
from
though,
It is
right?
a
Yeah.
trip, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a trek. I guess everywhere's a long way from Perth. It takes a while to get anywhere.
Yeah, one of the band members is from New Zealand.
Yeah.
So she was like, imagine doing this flight from like North America to like here, and then doing another like 10-hour
Yeah.
flight. I'm
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
that's
That's
far.
insane.
Yeah,
All right, so Lloyd, you're actually a long-term listener of the podcast.
I am
Yeah.
like a year, 18 months maybe.
It's impressive.
A fanboy, one would say.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So you'd be familiar with the question we ask all our guests. You've probably been preparing something.
Well, I actually did think of this the other day. I was like, what do I say? But I can't think of anything.
No.
Like, as long as just like a sound guy, like successful,
Yeah.
rich.
Yeah.
good.
That's good.
Yeah, see, some people go the more noble, they're a bit like, I want to be remembered as a
Yeah.
Profit.
I think when
Helping
we did it, I
people.
said I want to be remembered rich. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause, fuck it.
Like maybe I'm not bothered about being rich, just like
Wealthy,
comfortable.
yeah.
Like, I can do shit whenever I want. I don't have to worry about.
That's the thing. It's about having enough money to have freedom.
Exactly.
Not being
Yeah.
locked down. For
I think
sure.
that's the greatest part of life.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Is having like free will and being able to do what you want.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to be locked down in
No.
the same job for 40 years and then, see you later, mate.
Yeah,
That's it.
just get fucked
That's
off.
See ya.
The trot. Yeah.
Get made redundant, and then
Yeah,
you're like,
off you
okay,
go.
making a CV again after 40 years. Nah, it's not for me.
Then to go work another shit job till you retire.
Exactly,
and then
yeah.
you're 70. Nothing's as fun at 70 as it is at like 25.
But
no
like we
way.
said earlier, the world is sort of evolving into
It
that
is.
mindset of
yeah,
you can do whatever you
our
want. type
generation's a
thing.
big part of that. So good
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah. I mean,
Most
sort of,
definitely.
yeah, the internet's a wild thing. You can make money doing
crazy,
anything. Like
yeah.
OnlyFans, for example. Like,
Yeah,
I
there's
know,
money
it's-
everywhere,
they're
man.
making, yeah, it's crazy. Like, yeah.
There's money everywhere. I just want more of it, you know?
Definitely.
Take a
Just
bit
being
from-
in that, the freedom to travel.
Yeah,
sort
that's
of
the
just,
biggest
just
thing.
sort of be able to.
to actually live a life, you know
Exactly.
what I mean?
You guys both got like a job that you can do from potentially anywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of I think is the way to do it. Is do something you can sort of facilitate
Yeah.
anywhere in the
Yeah.
world, whether you just take something with you or you can do from your phone or
It's the
Oh, the
dream.
phone gives you pretty much freedom to do anything as well.
Yeah, literally. Like I know wedding photographers that shoot weddings on their phone.
Really?
That's crazy.
That is
Making
mental.
bank?
Yeah, bank.
Yeah.
Like 3-4 grand a wedding.
Fuck,
Do like
man,
2 a
mad.
weekend every week.
That's insane.
Yeah. Wild.
There you go.
Wild.
What phone are they using?
And same one as me. I know mine's
Wow.
shit. But yeah, it's wild. It's a crazy sort of world. You just gotta. Yeah, I don't know. Working retail made me realize
Yeah.
that I'd rather do anything than
Yeah.
sort of sit 9 to 5.
Rather go hang out in Vietnam, eh?
Yeah, I've always said that if I was sort of, it's easy to say, but if I had a job that I was maybe not enjoying, and when I was like 30, 40, I'd just move to like south of France, like Spain, just work in a coffee shop. I'd rather
Yeah.
work a normal job there.
Stand on grapes in someplace nice.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah. Then sort of freeze for 9 months of the year in England.
Yeah.
Because it is grim.
Yeah.
It is
I
grim
can
a lot of
imagine.
time. If you're going to go to England, go in summer. Do not go in like anywhere outside of like September to like May.
Just don't even bother.
Don't even
just
like.
be
It's
sad.
just sad. It is sad. Like it's sad. It's a great place in summer. It's like one of the best places I've been in summer. Like just being in England, everyone's in a great mood.
Yeah.
So everyone cherishes the sun and the heat. Everyone's out.
And then all of a sudden it just...
Everyone goes inside and just
back down to
hibernates.
reality.
Is that when you time to leave?
Yeah. Dip. Yeah. That's when I just try and leave. In an ideal world, you'd have a house in England for like summer and then a house like here for like your winters.
So what's your plan for the rest of the year? You obviously you told us Australia, New Zealand, through Asia.
Yeah. So we tour until like end of March, 25th of March, I think is the last show in Tokyo. And then I actually have an award show that I got nominated for in LA. So I fly there.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Super out of the blue.
Yep.
I was not expecting
no
it
idea?
at all. No.
Was that like a voted by people? Or
Yeah,
was
it's voted
like,
by public.
oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That's
go and
exciting.
vote.
Yeah, go vote.
Yeah, everyone go vote.
No, but so I go there after Tokyo, and then
where can they vote, by the way? Because
you have to be in America, so you have to VPN.
Okay.
And it's kind of
I've got one. You've got one.
I've got one.
yeah. It's iHeartRadio.
2
is
extra
the-
votes. There
Yeah,
you
there
go.
we go. iHeartRadio is the people who are sort of doing the award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I've got like a month off, which I'm just going to plan on going on holiday.
Yeah.
Just chill out for a month, and then we do a Europe tour, like start of May till like August time.
Yeah.
So that's again around like just the whole of Europe pretty much.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Europe in summer. You were there last time.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's great.
Yeah. And
It's
then
amazing.
And then that's all I've got planned. I don't really want to try and plan too far in advance because I have no idea where. So after all that, like it's still 6 months
don't
away.
know what
so
you want to do.
I've
Yeah.
got no idea. So I just try and take it as I come. Really, try and plan 6 months at a time and see where we're at.
I like
Not
that.
a bad year ahead.
Not at all.
Pretty
What are
good.
some things that we can recommend for Lloyd to do while he's here? Because obviously
staying in a
you'll
good
have
spot.
you've got rehearsals. To
Yeah,
do.
I have like most mornings free.
So you could duck out in the morning to go somewhere.
Well, I think this is a nice area, Elizabeth
Yeah.
Quay. Probably go to Fremantle. That's a
Yeah.
good spot.
Yeah,
That's more like a kind of like a
There's
coffee shop, like
Okay, sick.
vintage store area, like really chill by
Love
the
that.
beach. Like that's a good spot for
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And with the weather at the moment, there's not really any places you'll go where you'll be like, oh, I can't do it because it's shit
Yeah.
weather.
Cottesloe is
Exactly,
like a good beach area
Okay.
as well. It's elite.
Cottesloe's nice. That's a little bit far. Oh, I guess Fremantle and Cottesloe both, you know.
That's the good night out. Cottesloe, we always say Sunday sesh, OBH.
Sundays are the
Yeah,
the
man. in
vibe.
summer,
Really?
it's a good night
Really?
out, bro.
Sundays. Why Sundays?
I don't know.
I've no idea.
I think
People
I always
work
thought it
on
was an
Monday.
Australian thing, but when we tell other Australians, I think it's a Western Australian thing, and it's always been a thing.
Yeah, even like
Like
our
Sunday
dads
sesh.
would
Sunday
go.
sesh.
So yeah, it's interesting because obviously you need to work the next morning,
Exactly. That's
and
doesn't
some
make
people
sense.
really get like battered and then go to work the next day.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just a fun thing. It's almost like a weekend extender. Like normally you'd just be sitting at home doing
Down.
nothing.
Yeah, you make the most of the week, so
Yeah.
you
That
don't
makes
feel
sense.
like you're just sitting at home on
Yeah.
a Sunday.
like a
It's a
piece
good
of
way to
shit.
spend a Sunday, yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah.
like, this has been a thing on TikTok I've seen lately, the Sunday scaries. A lot of people are
Okay.
saying like, oh, I'm getting the Sunday scaries at like 3 p.m. and then it will kick in and then you just...
Oh, what, because they have to work?
Oh, just
dreading
like
the
See, that
dreading
fear
work.
of work,
Yeah.
fuck that.
I had
I used
a-
to get that when I was at school.
Same.
I hated
At the end,
Sundays
with school
afternoon.
holidays, it was big for me. Like first day back, I'd be like,
Yeah,
feel
I hated
sick,
it.
bro.
I
Like,
hated school so much.
But it's that Sunday, like you're saying, I had the same thing where you know you've got school the next day, you know you've got shit to do that you
Yeah.
don't want to do, and you're sort of being forced into it.
yeah, you're like
Oh.
counting
that's
down.
why I don't want
the
a normal
hours.
9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
Just fuck that.
What were you like at school?
I was just playing football the entire time.
Yeah.
Like I was playing football, and then when I discovered PlayStation, I would just hammer PlayStation. I would finish school at like 3, go home, hammer PlayStation to like 10, go
Yeah.
to bed, repeat.
Yeah, that was
Until-
my school holidays for like the whole
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah, I feel like that's most kids my age as
Yeah.
well. Like especially at home, it's all we
YouTube
would
on
do
in
is-
the corner.
Yeah,
Do you
Yeah.
play any like 5-a-side or 6-a-side wherever you go or nah?
I didn't like. I would love to, but sort of the schedule isn't a schedule. So it's
That's what I was going to say. Sorry for interrupting, but I was
Yeah.
going to say like We play on Wednesday nights, and if you had have stayed for an extra
Yeah, we
couple
could
of
have
days,
bought
That'd
you
been
for
so
a kick,
sick.
bro.
That would have been
good.
great. Yeah, I've not played football in ages, actually. Like, it's kind of sad. But if I was in one place for if I was based in one place, and I
you
would
could
try
go.
and play for a team, but
Yeah.
I just can't get to training
Yeah.
and stuff. So it's kind of tough. But yeah,
Indeed. I guess we can wrap it up there.
Yeah,
We've
it's
just
been-
hit an hour.
That's great.
love that.
Wonderful. Thanks for hopping on, Lloyd.
Thanks
We
for having
really
me, boys.
appreciate it. All the best for the tour.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. Where
an
can everyone
episode.
find you? Find your stuff.
Instagram Lloyd with 17 D's. It's a bit of a ridiculous thing, but yeah, just Instagram.
Awesome.
There you go.
No worries. Thanks for coming on, mate. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Jamo and Dylan Show. Make sure to subscribe to the boys on YouTube and share the podcast with a mate.